Hey everybody, I am working out on a little project in the garage today, getting ready to go on my next trip, doing some camping, a little wheeling up north where it's a little cooler because it is hot out here in the garage today. I got to get out of this heat for a little bit. But, here's the backstory. Bobby and I were doing some night wheeling. This was a couple months back. And I kept hearing this like noise coming out of my front end, like a clicking noise. And I didn't know what it was. I kept stopping. And I never found what it was. And on our next trip, where Bobby, AJ, and I went camping, Bobby saw that my steering stabilizer mount was actually cracked where the weld is. Didn't pose a safety risk because I've driven the Jeep without a steering stabilizer before, so I wasn't really all that worried about it. But when I got back, reached out to Metal Cloak, told them what was going on. I said the weld was cracked. They sent me a brand new part, no charge. Their customer service is great. So anyway, it's a 3-bolt project, which should not take me too long, quote unquote. But I'm going to get under here and replace this thing and move on with it. So. Folks, we have a problem. So I've got a crack in the weld right here for the steering stabilizer. Okay, I said this was a 3-bolt project. I need a 3/4 inch wrench. I need a 7/8, need a 14 millimeter. I've got the same ones. For sockets, I got a breaker bar, got the impact if I need to use that, and then here's the actual new piece that Metal Cloak replaced for me. So it was cracked right here on this bottom weld, and I'll show you that one here in a little bit. All right, I am going to start by taking this steering stabilizer mount off of here. I was going to use the impact, but there's not enough room. And it's not crazy tight. This one is actually 3/4 inch. And it was interesting when I was putting this Metal Cloak lift on, they don't really use metric for anything. It's all standard. You can definitely see where the rubber from the grommet is wearing on that bolt. The next one is 14 millimeter. Yep, that's right, 14 millimeter. So again, we go standard, we go metric. This one I'm going to use the impact on. That was easy. All right, put that aside. All right, here's the big gun. This one's 7/8, but that one has a flag in the back, flag nut in the back, so. Definitely easier than using the breaker bar. All right. Let's see where that's cracked. Right there. The rest of it's fine. It's just that right there. Okay, new one. get that started. And I'm gonna get this little guy here, the little 14 millimeter in there. Use the new one. It's definitely tight quarters. But the good thing is, to replace this, I didn't need to remove anything else. Like 90% of the time when you're working on something, you've got to take half the other things apart in order to fix what you really need to fix. So that was good. Okay. Those are both started. All right. All right, I think we are good to tighten that down. Hand tighten this. There's no, I didn't see any torque specs when I looked at the metal cloak instructions, and even all of the torque specs that I had written down from when I did this before. I didn't have any torque specs, so we're just gonna tighten it. All right. Yeah, that's tight. All right, let's get this 14 millimeter one. All right. Tight, tight, tight. I think we're good. So just for torque specs and bolt and nut sizes and wrenches, when I did my lift and I did my steering and I did my shocks and I did all that to my Jeep, I put down on my phone bolt sizes, wrench sizes, all of that, and torque specs as well. So when I was looking for the torque spec for the steering stabilizer, this is where I went, into my phone. And I didn't have anything in there for it. But you can see I've got just about everything else. Shocks, parking brake, cable, bracket, bump stops, wheels, sway bar, front shocks, track bar. I got everything in there. So it's really helpful if I'm out on the trail and to keep track of the wrenches that I need to have in my kit for my Jeep. So anyway, just wanted to share that. And here's the old one. You can see that crack right in there. Well, you know, that was an easy fix. And normally, I don't know, you think it's an easy fix and it turns into a 3-day project, but I'm glad I got that fixed off my list of things to do.